This is just a little example of how I work. So I start by figuring out what it is that I want to paint that day. I'll get out my sketchbook and do some sketches to figure out what kind of canvas I want to work on and how I want the design to be. And then it's a matter of figuring out my color palette. Once I have that figured out, if I'm working in oil or acrylic, I then have to figure out which brushes I want to use. Depending on the size of the canvas or the subject matter, it can vary. And then I can pick my canvas or board and start drawing, either by drawing directly on the canvas with paint, or I'll take my pastel pencils, tone my surface with a color, and start working, refining, and perfecting my drawing to a point where I'm finally happy with it. Nothing is ever perfect. And then I can begin painting. My paintings begin with a layer of color that's fairly thin, and then I continue to build up the color and detail as I go through the painting. Sometimes I do have to refine my drawing as I work, but I try to get that drawing right the first time so that I don't have to do that. My brushes start off big and get smaller as I continue to progress through the painting, with the final steps being that nice big juicy white color that's added on top for the highlights. Once I sign my painting, I'm ready to prep it for varnishing. I begin with an isolation coat, either of a gloss medium or a fast dry medium on an oil painting, and then I can varnish the piece and it's ready to sell. The only other thing I might do is frame the painting, but sometimes, depending on the piece, I just put hanging hardware on the back and it's done. And that's my process in a nutshell.